physics and computer science that creating the new type of computer will require. For Fink's machine dream to be fully realized, HP's engineers need to create systems of lasers that fit inside fingertip-sized computer chips, invent a new kind of operating system, and perfect an electronic device for storing data that has never before been used in computers. Pulling it off would be a virtuoso feat of both computer and corporate engineering. New Blueprint. In 2010, Fink was running the HP division that sells high-powered corporate servers and feeling a little paranoid. Customers were flocking to startups offering data storage based on fast, energy-efficient flash memory chips like the ones inside smartphones. But HP was selling only the slower, established storage technology of hard drives. We weren't responding aggressively enough, says Fink. I was frustrated we were not thinking far enough into the future. Trying to see a way to leapfrog ahead, he wondered, why not use new forms of memory not just to upgrade data storage, but to reinvent computers entirely? Fink knew that researchers at HP and elsewhere were working on new memory technologies that promised to be much faster than flash chips. He and his chief technical advisor drew up a blueprint that would use those technologies to make computers far more powerful and energy efficient. An internal paper on that idea, with the corporatee's title Unbound Convergence, went nowhere. But when Fink was appointed HP's chief technology officer and head of HP Labs 2 years later, he saw a chance to resurrect his proposal. When I looked at all the teams in Labs, I could see the pieces were there, he says. In particular, HP was working on a competitor to Flash, based on a device called the Memristor. Although the Memristor was still in development, it looked to Fink as if it would someday be fast enough and store data densely enough to make his blueprint realizable. He updated his previous proposal and gave the computer a name he thought would be temporary: the Machine. It stuck. The Machine is an attempt to update the design that has defined the guts of computers since the 1970s. Essentially, computers are constantly shuttling data back and forth between different pieces of hardware that hold information. One, known as storage, keeps your photos and documents, plus the computer's operating system. It consists of hard drives or flash memory chips, which can fit a lot of data into a small space and retain it without power. Engineers call it non-volatile memory. But both hard drives and flash chips read and write data very slowly relative to the pace that a computer's processor can work on it. When a computer needs to get something done, the data must be copied into short-term memory, which uses a technology 10,000 or more times faster: DRAM, Dynamic Random Access Memory. This type of memory can't store data very densely and goes blank when powered down. The two-tier system of storage and memory means computers spend a lot of time and energy moving data back and forth just to get into a position to use it. This is why your laptop can't boot up instantly. The operating system must be retrieved from storage and loaded into memory. One constraint on the battery life of your smartphone is its need to spend energy keeping data alive in DRAM, even when it is idling in your pocket. That may be a mere annoyance for you, but it's a costly headache for people working on computers that do the sort of powerful number crunching that's becoming so important in all kinds of industries, says Yuan Zhu, a professor at the University of California, San Diego, who researches storage technologies. People working on data-intensive problems are limited by the traditional architecture, she says. HP estimates that around a third of the code in a typical piece of data analysis software is dedicated purely to juggling storage and memory, not to the task at hand. This doesn't just curtail performance. Having to transfer data between memory and storage also consumes significant energy, which is a major concern for companies running vast collections of servers, says Zhu. Companies such as Facebook spend millions trying to cut the huge power bills for their warehouses of computers. The Machine is designed to overcome these problems by scrapping the distinction between storage and memory. A single large store of memory based on HP's Memristors will both hold data and make it available for the processor. Combining memory and storage isn't a new idea, but there hasn't yet been a non-volatile memory technology fast enough to make it practical, says Sujay King Liu, a professor who studies microelectronics at the University of California, Berkeley. Liu is an advisor to Crossbar, a startup working on a Memristor.